I just got off the phone from a coaching session with a client, and we talked about something today that I just know will be really useful for you. And that's about the importance of stepping back. So, in our lives at the moment, and particularly at work, there's lots of energy for the opposite. So, there's loads of energy for leaning in, there's lots of energy for analysing, getting close to the detail. I hear it a lot in management meetings that I take part in or observe. I hear it a lot on social media. I hear it a lot even in one-to-one conversations that I have with people. And the thing that I'm suggesting could be really useful for you to integrate into your style is the opposite, and that's about stepping back. So instead of, when something's going on, instead of moving forward and going in and trying to work out what's happening from that place, the invitation here is to in fact do the opposite, which is to lean back and to stand back. And from that place, I really believe that you can see more. And I've learned that through personal experience, particularly in the 5 years that I've been coaching from that place. So what I know is that if we move back, stand back, we can see more, we get better peripheral vision, we get better line of sight of what's going on around stuff. So in context, we are also importantly able to not just see more volume, but also to see more about how stuff's working. So when we step back and we can look at a system, be that a person, a relationship dynamic, a team, an organisation, when we step back and we can see more from that perspective, we can see more of how things are working. So how things are connecting, interconnecting or not, how things are moving with ease or where they're stuck, how things are in flow or perhaps where they're backing up. So we're able to see all the component parts, and we're able to see much more of what's going on at a holistic level. And that's really, really useful information. It's particularly useful information to share with others as observations of what we see happening. And that's the benefit of stepping back. That's what stepping back allows us to do. We don't get that line of sight when we go in, when we lean in, when we analyse, when we look at the detail. We just don't get it. Both are useful, but they have extremely different benefits. So next time you're in a meeting and you find yourself triggered by something, and you notice that you're wanting to listen, or that you think, your heart starts to race a little bit faster, and you think, this could be something really here that's beneficial. Instead of going to what is possibly your default, which is to lean in and start to ask questions and all of that stuff, my suggestion to you is that you could in fact do the opposite, and that's to step back. So you could do that physically, like you can move your chair, just push yourself away from the table, even just a couple of inches, and give your body a signal that you're going to be asking it to take more of a big picture view. You could also physically get up and move your chair. So not in a dramatic way necessarily, but you could call it out that you're going to do it if that feels right. But like if you're sitting at the front of the room, this is a great time to go and stand at the back and observe what's happening and what the interplays are and where the connections are and where the stucknesses are. You could just move your chair to a different part of the room. So this is a physical thing sometimes, but it's more of an energetic stance, more of a perspective, more of a viewpoint. So it's like an inner feeling, an inner stance of where you're holding yourself in relation to whatever it is that's being discussed. So yeah, really useful. Not always what people expect us to do, expect us to offer, not always what they expect to hear, not always what they necessarily want to hear, because it can explode a bigger picture perspective, and that can, in the first instance, bring up more complexity. But it's, in my opinion and my experience, almost always extremely useful, and almost always needed, if not wanted. So something really interesting for you to try and integrate into your style, something that could be really useful for you, certainly an experiment that you could try next time you're in connection with other people, in meetings, in dialogue. So yeah, give it a go and see what happens. And I'd love to hear more from you if you do try it and you see what you notice. You might need to stick with it a few times. It might not give you instant results, but it's something that really should be part of any leader's repertoire, this capacity to stand back, take a big picture view, And certainly the more senior you get, the more that's needed, and the more you have to be able to start seeing the interplays in any system, be that with people or with stuff that's going on. So yeah, come and talk to me if you want to. And I will be back, I'm sure, soon enough with some more tips of things that you can integrate into work, to mix stuff up and to get more perspective and more space in what you do. Talk to you soon. Bye.